having been in the technology advisory role for 40 years, one thing I can say is companies don't look to spend money on new technologies. Yeah, yes, some are out there on the leading edge, but others are saying, I want to wait and see if this stuff works before I try it, right? Does everyone run out and buy a Tesla right away? No, you want to see if they work. You want to see, do they mature? It's like, did everybody run out and buy an HD TV on day one? No, because you knew the price was going to come down. However, with social media, the mindset is different. CEOs are saying, I'm investing now. And in fact, the CEOs that were surveyed say they are going to increase their spending on social media between 60 and 80% over the next 3 years. And when asked why, is there a hardcore return on investment, they're saying yes. They feel the return on investment is if they don't do it, they will not be in business in 5 years. That's a very different mindset than has existed in the past. And why? Because companies want to get to this experience economy. And that's creating digital products, but not only that, but creating a customer experience. Disney has been excellent at doing this way before digital technologies existed. You look at generations and generations of people go to the Disney World parks, stay at Disney hotels, buy Disney products. They are part of the Disney experience. And Disney was able to create this sort of buy-in just because of their mentality and because of the products. Now they're able to do it through digital connections. Harley-Davidson, one of the most famous, world-renowned brands in motorcycles, and the Harley cult is a very tight-knit one. What are they doing? They've created a social media center of excellence such that they can get new people involved with Harley-Davidsons and share the whole Harley experience with them digitally online. Nike, the digital experience with them. There's digital capabilities within their sneakers and within their athletic wear where they can actually track your performance. Netflix, they upended a whole industry by saying, we're going to create a digital home media experience for you. And the list goes on and on and on. Now, how are they able to do this? They're able to do this with solutions leadership. In other words, digitally enabling their products. They're using some core digital disciplines like cloud technology, big data, mobility, the Internet of Things, solutions, and service-based technologies. And they're all building this on a stable platform of interlocking components. Products that have been around for a long time, organizations that have been around for a long time, and they're using that as a base and building on top of it. Look at what Amazon did. They built a base that allowed them to sell books. And upon that infrastructure, now they can sell everything. And not only that, they use that to expand their business to be the world's largest provider of cloud services. They're also the world's largest marketing organization, the world's largest fulfillment organization. And they all built that upon a solid base. And they expanded it with new technologies. So the experience economy is about involvement. It's about creating a customer loyalty base. Now, this is a model, a business model that looks at market leadership. In other words, how can I build upon that base that we were just talking about? That base is your business processes, your resources, your existing products, and your customer relationships. And you want to take them to the next level. And you want to use some digital technologies where appropriate to facilitate that. Things like cloud computing, big data, social media, mobile technologies, and the Internet of Things. And you want to be able to utilize that to take your products, your company, and your services to information excellence, to solutions leadership, and collective intimacy. Customers can come and go. The real value of a customer is a customer over time, and you want to continue to nurture that relationship. Now, you might say, well, this is all this new stuff, right? And it's happening now, and, the tools continue to change, and, it'll happen on its own. The answer is it won't. It'll happen if you invest in it. Now, let me go back a little bit in time and give you an example. There was a business problem as a result of a discovery. In 1848, gold was discovered in California. Great opportunity, right? What happened? Everybody ran to California. They got in their covered wagons and went across the country and ended up in California. Well, what was the problem? Well, the problem was, how do you communicate from the East Coast to the West Coast? You couldn't. You know, you put everything in a covered wagon and you drove for, months. Well, now all of a sudden you've got people out in California. How do they keep in touch with the businesses, the government, the banks back in the East Coast? There was no communications capability. So somebody came up with a solution, and that solution was the Pony Express. So in this case, the horse was the tool. Now, 1848 is when they discovered gold. 1860 is when the Pony Express came into play. Now, how long did that business solution exist? A year and a half. And a year and a half later, something replaced Pony Express, and that was telegraphs. Now, all of a sudden, we have our first network from the East Coast to the West Coast. We are now able to facilitate communication. We're able to move data. And all of a sudden, the world changed. Now we have, at that point in time anyway, instantaneous communication. So all of a sudden, information excellence becomes a key factor in the growth of that whole industry, the growth of the western part of the United States. So what is that compared to this model? It's exactly the same. It was the turn of the crank of technology. And then today, what do? Well, we're enabling cities with Internet of Things. We're making sure buildings are smart. We're integrating such that your refrigerator tells you when you need to order orange juice, where your car is telling you when it needs to have its oil changed. And businesses are saying, how do I optimize my supply chain? How do I provide value to my customers? How do I ensure that my sales team is being the most effective that they can? We're dealing with solutions, not products. And we're dealing with networks. Now, this is a comment from Jay Walker. Jay is the chairman of Walker Innovation. Jay is one of the most successful entrepreneurs and innovators in the United States. And he made an observation that I think is critical in that, we've had networks for a long time. The railroad network, the electrical grid network, the shipping network, the highway system. And those things allowed the nation, our nation, and every other nation to be successful. But he's also saying that the digital world is bringing forth the evolution of a new network. And forced rethinking makes us ask ourselves, how can we reinvent business given the unlimited nature of our new digital reality? And that's where our thinking needs to be. How do we apply these digital tools to solve business problems? And hence, business with the power of STEM.